Also on 7, what many are calling a symbol of hate in the workplace, and now a city worker is facing the heat. Employees snapping photos of a noose they say their co-worker put on display.
7's Don Guevara has a story on how the man's family insists the whole thing is one big misunderstanding.
He tied a knot and laid it on in his toolbox, but he didn't hang anything up.
A giant misunderstanding or a deliberate stab by a racially insensitive man. This is Leslie Vargas, a utilities mechanic for the city of Fort Lauderdale the past 20 years. He's spending the next month on suspension without pay because the city says he left this noose at his workstation inside the city's public works facility. Several employees saw it and reported him.
Does he have a problem with African Americans?
Part of his family's black, lady.
Vargas's wife coming to his defense Monday. 7 News obtained the apology Mr. Vargas wrote to co-workers. In part, he says, I was only practicing knots in general, as I always do, as we always have use for knots in our everyday work situations. He goes on to say, I'm sorry. In the future, I will be more sensitive to other people's feelings, but I meant no harm or malice.
It's almost impossible to believe. I've lived next door to them, like I said, over 20 years, and they're just wonderful people.
I live here 22 years. I mean, I never pay him no respect or anything like that because he's not a kind of friendly, person that would talk.
The reviews from neighbors mixed, the city taking no chances on Vargas's true intentions.
The city takes situations like this seriously, and we took immediate action once it was brought to our attention, and we feel that the discipline handed out is appropriate with the circumstances of the case.
So in addition to that suspension without pay, this man had to undergo a cultural sensitivity training class, and he also had to sign something saying that if he did anything like this again, he would be terminated. Reporting in Fort Lauderdale, Don Guevara, Today in Florida.